Paul, I'm going to start with you over at U.S. Army. You just recently got appointed to the Enterprise Cloud Management Office. Congratulations, by the way. Let me start off by just asking you, where are we over there in regards to the cloud computing play?
So the Army's been on a cloud journey for a while now. So really, I'm just coming in kind of in the middle of the story, if you will. The Army had put out a cloud strategy back in 2015, but a lot of what was driving the Army's adoption of cloud for the last 5 years has been really centralized around closing data centers and trying to move to the cloud. But really the value of what cloud computing can provide the United States Army and its mission was somewhat being left behind. And so with the creation of the Enterprise Cloud Management Office, which luckily and thankfully, and I'm just honored to be here, I'm the first director of, we're shifting the focus from a cloud-first methodology for the United States Army into more of a cloud-smart and cloud-native approach to leveraging cloud. And so what this is really forcing us to do is really dive into the details of precisely how our systems have been designed, who our customers are and some of the challenges that they've been seeing, and some of the constraints of having designed a capability literally intended to fit in a box, and how we start to leverage the scale and elasticity of the cloud, and then build resilience into our applications to be able to adapt to this dynamic world that we're living in. And so with the ECMO, it's really just coming in and kind of shaping the lessons learned over the last couple of years, and really applying those lessons learned in a more optimized strategy where we see the true benefits of cloud shining through for the Army. And this was captured in our data XORD. It's also captured in the data plan that the Army published. And it's also captured in the cloud plan specifically that's going to be published that my office drafted. And the entire focus there is on the people and the services and the new processes, and even perhaps the new way that we need to organize ourselves in order to bring the full power and value of the cloud to bear for the United States Army.
It's interesting because the Army being so massive, right? And, just is that they have a mastery of supply chain, logistics, et cetera. It's almost the same sort of thing in a cloud environment, trying to implement something that across the globe in very disparate places, et cetera. I'm sure that's a daunting task.
It very much is a daunting task. But one of the threads that I've been really leaning into is we really need to be effective first before we focus on being efficient. When you think about the large scale of the Army, I think sometimes we're scared into putting out to some written order of thou shalt must be this certain way that maybe is the best thing that we understood at that point in time, and sharing it globally. And with the dynamic learning that we're having in the cloud is, how do I actually get that new feedback out to the force immediately? That's a huge challenge, especially when you are global like the United States Army. So part of adopting the methodologies for moving to the cloud, one of the best pieces of feedback is start small and learn, and then grow that effectiveness across your agency. And so that's precisely what we're doing. And so that's also codified in our data and cloud strategy when we talk about setting the conditions for us to apply lessons learned at Army scale. And that's phased throughout this current fiscal year into FY21, where we're going to be focusing on the priorities and how we want to apply lessons learned there immediately for our mission. And then we want to bring that value to scale for the Army.
Sure. I mean,